We're back.
Welcome to Emoji 2 TV. We're ready to start this season, and the games have started already, Coach, and we're ready to get going with our coverage right now.
Absolutely.
What do you got on deck?
Well, first off, Coach, we're going to start with preseason Suburban Council coverage.
Okay.
And this is not in any particular order. This is just, we're just covering the teams. And first up on the list, Coach, is Troy. Troy High, Coach. They're returning some really good players with Lateef Johnson, Nazir Mary, and the Fajion kid. Coach, I mean, these guys are poised. We got a chance to speak to Greg Davis, and these guys are poised to come back. He's looking to rebound from this year and go a little bit further in the sectional round, Coach. So they look like they're poised to make a little bit of a run, Coach, and we know what kind of job he does over there.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for that team, Coach. I can see them really doing some great things this year as the season gets going. They lost a few guys from last year, so I think it's going to take them time, like many of the other teams that we might talk about today. They're going to have to find their way as the season gets going, defining roles and things like that. So I see big things out of the Flying Horses.
I think they'd be relevant.
Yes.
Yep. Next up on our list is the Plainsmen, the defending Section 2 champions, the Plainsmen of Shenandoah. And they return Sungari, TJ Sungari, and Jake Reiners, Coach. And these guys, I mean, they're poised. They're ready for a repeat. When we got a chance to speak to them, Coach, they was like, we're looking to repeat this year.
That's right. Now, you know, I see social media, we got a lot of guys in that Shen team, man. They're really excited about their team. You know, we got Josh Renals out there who's very confident right now with that, with this crew. So, the coach exudes confidence. You know, just won the defending champions, Section 2. So not too long ago they won the state championship. So they got a lot of mojo going their way right now. You know,
yeah, they're doing some great things up there in Shin. So look for them to be relevant again this year. Next up on the list, Green Tech, Coach.
Yes.
And we know what they bring. They bring this super sensational J-Rod. Joshua Rodriguez back with a little help with Keymore Johnson, Coach. They're poised over there. Have a new coach at the helm that we had a chance to talk to. He was very excited about the prospects of them over there. So Green Tech looks to be relevant this year as well, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, Keymore Johnson, Coach, looks to be a man determined this year.
Yeah, I would say so.
And you know, also, you know, look at J-Rod. We know what he could do offensively. So once he gets it all together and getting guys involved, that team could be spectacular.
Absolutely.
And you also got the transfer from Albany High there, Tommy Harbert over there, Coach.
That's true.
He's going to be a fascinating fit for them. You know, give him another three-headed horseman over there.
Absolutely. He had a decent game. He had a decent outing. Yeah, absolutely. Looking over there, Green Tech looking to be relevant as well this year. Coach, next up on the list, the Saratoga Blue Streak, Coach. And these guys, you got Nate Trudy over there, Coach. You got Marcus Davis, Coach, Aiden Holmes. So those guys, you know, Usher always has those guys ready to play. He always has those guys up and prepared. So, Coach, they're looking to be, you know, relevant this year too.
That's right, Coach. I mean, you got some more shooting too. Not as much as last year, but you got Charlie Beck over there that can light it up a little bit. So Aiden Holmes, like you said, is going to be tough. And Nick Judy, like I said earlier about the other team, Coach, he's a man determined too. You know,
absolutely.
He's on the preseason. You know, he exudes confidence, Coach.
Confidence, you know and aggression.
Yes, exactly. And don't forget about Will Fox, Coach.
You can't forget about Will Fox. Not at all.
Tough as nails there.
Tough as nails.
You know, calm, cool, collective Matt Usher. You know, he just finds a way to get his guys motivated and make a run. So
absolutely.
We'll see.
Next up on the list, the Eagles of Bethlehem. Eagles of Bethlehem. So, what do you want to say? Ortelli, LeClaire, and you know, AG Iron always does a wonderful job with those guys over there. And they return a senior-laden team.
That's right.
And they just coming off of a Section 2 title not too long ago themselves, a couple years ago.
That's right. And you also got a few guys that that started seeing, like we did the telecast last year with them against Saratoga. They didn't do their best that game, but Xavier Wakefield stepped up that game. So maybe, I heard he had a football injury. Hopefully he's over that football injury and he can contribute a little more to that team. So
we saw some things he could do.
Yes.
Absolutely. Coach, next up on the list, the brothers of CBA. Signer, King, O'Toole, So those guys are poised to really, really make a run this year as well, Coach.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, you know, what do you say about Domel, man? He just gets those guys prepared, ready for every game. They're constantly relevant every year. You know, Jordan King, man, he's a fascinating guard, you know. So I'm looking for him to be one of them guys to really step up this year and do some things. And you got O2. The guy is built like a brick house, you know what I mean?
Sure is.
So, and he'll bang on you.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of things. Signer is just a methodical type of player that just breaks you down.
Yes.
You know, so CBA got the parts.
Yeah, they got the parts. Next up on our list, Coach, is Colony. Now, Colony, they bring back the younger brother, A-Bar. And I think Satin, too, right? Satin is back as well, Coach. Colony lost a lot. They lost a lot with losing Will A-Bar and then losing, of course, our Umoja 2 TV All-Star #1 last year in Isaiah Moe, who's doing a fabulous job at Vermont, mind you. But, yeah, Colony, yeah, they lost a lot last year, Coach. So it's going to be a little bit of a climb for them, Coach.
Uphill battle there. But you have guys that been with that program for a couple years now, and they've seen what it took to reach the championship game 2 years in a row. So you do have that in your back pocket. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
But you, like I said, you can't replace Isaiah Moe. You
just
can't replace him.
No, yeah, right, exactly. He just don't come a dime a dozen.
No.
You know, he's not walking through that door.
No, not at all.
Okay. So rounding out our Suburban Council preseason coverage would be Boston Spa, LaSalle, Albany High, Averill Park, and Burnt Hills. You know, and those guys are always having an uphill battle of a climb to crack that ceiling and be relevant in the Suburban Council.
Yeah, I mean, Boston Spa definitely climbed out of that cellar last year and did a fabulous job last year.
They did.
So you do have teams that right now people don't think about that can possibly climb out of there and make some noise. You know what I mean?
I tell you what, I mean, teams won't be so readiness to face Boston Spa. That's not a team that you could just come in and overlook.
Right.
You know what I mean? But,
and I'm hearing too, Averill Park coach is much improved from a year ago. So you just don't know.
You don't. You don't. So we'll see what happens. But for the most part, that's about the gist of it, Coach.
Yes,
and that's what we're looking at and coming into this year. It should be exciting and fun times, Coach.
Okay, so Coach, let's talk about some of the games that we saw or read about this past week.
Right.
We had a Section 2, Section 3 challenge, similar like the ACC versus the Big Ten.
So right, something like that, right, similar to that.
Saratoga went up to Section 3 at Onondaga Community College and faced Henninger and took Henninger down by double figures, Coach. Yeah. So that was a game.
A game we covered, too.
Too. So also you had Arlington over Albany High in a tournament down, and I believe downstate somewhere in
Saugerties or something like that. Yes.
So they took that defeat there. And guess what, Coach? The state champion, Mahonison, Class A last year, took down the final Colony, who made the finals last year, took them down in a 3-pointer at the buzzer.
Wow.
So Mahonison is back at it.
Back at it again after a nice long run last year.
Yes. And they got a new coach.
Yeah, they do have a new coach.
So they continue to work with the new coach. You also had Green Tech play over the week as well, Coach, and they looked very good against the Bishop Givens team. So they took that game and went on with that one. You want something to say about that?
Well, I mean, that's the kind of game you're supposed to do what you need to do with that kind of game. And Green Tech coming out and enforcing their will and doing exactly what they need to do with that game to get started for the season.
So true. Averill Park and Boston Spa, and Averill Park came away with that win, Coach. So Averill Park, we talked about that earlier.
Yes.
Averill Park, is a team that you don't want to sleep on.
Right. You definitely don't want to sleep on.
Yes, sir. And then we the last game I'm going to talk about, Coach, is the Bethlehem Guilderland. Guilderland is vastly improved as well. So that's a game that Bethlehem won, but it wasn't easy.
Right.
So that rounds out the scores, Coach, for this week, and we'll probably add some more too on our graphic. Coach, what's next?
Coach, what's next is that I don't know if you're ready for this. Are you ready for what's next, Coach?
Wow. Do I need something special for this segment?
Well, you need a lot.
Do I need my crystal ball?
You need a lot of help with that. The crystal ball is cracked. I thought we already talked about that. So right now we're going to go into Umoja 2's TV preseason top 5 pick from Coach Danzy and Coach Fullard.
That's right.
So,
and I always win this debate like every year, every week. I'm always the one that's always the most relevant when this happens.
I think that right now you're delusional, but it's okay. It's okay. It's early in the morning. You're a little delusional. You haven't had your full coffee yet, and all those things. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't matter. It's okay. All right.
See, bring the noise. Okay. So how we gonna do this right now? Fans want to know how we gonna do this every week. I'm gonna put my score. We're gonna put the same. We're gonna put our top 5 up together.
Yeah, it's gonna be side by side.
Okay.
It's gonna be side by side.
Here they go. Okay, Coach. All right.
So I'll let you go first.
Nah, I'd rather you go first.
You ready for I go first? All right.
You know, the more experienced, the more wiser. I'm like the guy who doesn't. I'm gonna let you rock out. I'm gonna let you get your rocks off real early right now.
Okay, so I'll start with my number 5 team.
Okay.
All right. Number 5, I got Green Tech. I got Green Tech coming in at number 5. I have Saratoga at number 4. I have Bethlehem at number 3. I have CBA at number 2. And the defending Section 2 champs, number 1. It was difficult. And my outside looking in, I have Troy and Colony.
Okay. So I tell you mine. I got number 5, Green Tech.
Okay.
Number 4.
Looking at my notes, it's okay.
Number 4, I got Troy. Number 3, I got Saratoga. Number 2, I got Shin, and number 1, I got CBA. We can talk about it.
Okay. So, obviously, for me, number 1, Shin, defended champions.
Oh, I forgot. I got Bethlehem, coming in.
Outside looking in? Oh, Bethlehem outside looking in?
Outside looking in.
Are you okay?
Hey.
Okay, we'll talk about that. All right, number 1, Shin. Okay. I mean, yes, defending section title. Section 2 champions, they're always relevant. I mean, you got Coach Tony DeZiekis at the helm right there. He always has those guys prepared. He does great in-game adjustments, great preparation for those guys. You got TJ Sungari there, Division II commit. He's ready to come back. He says he's still hungry. Yes. You got Jake Ronish out there, the class president, the vice president out there. He's ready to go. I mean, those guys are poised. It was a difficult decision to have them at number 1. But their preparation and the in-game strategies that Tony DeZiekis uses, Coach, I just feel like they're right now coming out the gate, defending Section 2 champs. I have to pick them as my number 1 team starting off, Coach.
Okay, I got my number 1 is CBA. CBA doesn't lose. Didn't lose much as far as their offensive production of last year. They did lose a shooter or 2 last year. But their main, I believe like their 90% of their scoring is all coming back. You know what I mean? So Jordan King could go off at any moment. Signer's dominant. An 0-2 is just a guy who just pounds you out. If 0-2 fixes foul shooting woes, look out. Look out. All right, so they rebound, they box out fundamentally skilled.
Yeah, like the guy gets to the line like 10, 15 times a game or something. He might take 5 free throws most of the game. I mean, how serious is that could be? You're actually citing that as one of your reasons as them becoming like this, that, and the third. Coach, he's a rebounder, tough defender. I'll give you that. Free throws,
and he'll bang on you.
Yeah, he will do that, but free throws.
Yo, Coach, you know how many times we covered him a couple times? You know how many times he went to the free throw line? I think they were sitting the free throw line on purpose. Like, come on, that won't happen this year if he's knocking it down.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
I got Shin number 2, and I'm gonna cite all the reasons you said.
Yeah. Well, for me, number 2 is CBA, and some similar to what you're saying in obvious reasons. I mean, you have Signer, you have 0-2. That's a heck of a front court right there that you have to battle, and then you have the point guard. You have a 1 and you have a 5. That's usually the ideal thing that you want to have when you're in your team, and you have that in CBA. You have the experience. You have Coach O'Mel. I mean, we speak about Zekas a lot. This is a state championship as well. I mean, at one time he went on some crazy streak where he didn't lose into the Big Ten or something like crazy. So we know what they can do. Yeah. So definitely 1 and 2. Now, number 3, I got Bethlehem. The team that you got on the outside looking in.
Why would you have Bethlehem in there right now? This early in the season, haven't proved anything yet.
They proved a lot.
What did they prove?
Even last year.
What did they prove last year?
It was relevant all year long. And if Ortelli being hurt was a nemesis to them, and when he came back and we saw him, he wasn't even 100% for the sectional round. This is a very senior-laden team that's coming back. And Adrian, another viable coach, won a Section 2 title a few years back. And a senior laden with experience coming up. I mean, these guys are poised. I was like, yo, maybe I should even move them up, but I said, no, I'm going to keep them at 3. Bethlehem is going to be viable this year, Coach. I don't even understand how you have them on the outside looking in.
Bethlehem's got to show me. They can probably be in my top 5. They have to show me. I'm from Missouri, show me state, all right? When you show me, then you'll be on my top 5. Well, until I see it, you're there, outside looking in. It's that simple.
Well, speaking of which, I don't understand. You cite the reason to me showing what this Bethlehem did last year, and you got Troy in your top 5. And
what did Troy show you?
What I'm saying is what I'm saying is that you're like coming at me about Bethlehem, like what they show you. Like Troy and Bethlehem was kind of like this right here.
So Troy didn't show you anything last year?
They showed some things. No,
Bethlehem didn't show me anything last year. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Well, like I said, I started the show by saying you're delusional. Now you're proving it.
All I'm saying is, they leave a lasting impression on me.
But you gotta understand it. Their best player
was hurt. Right.
And they still
what?
They still was relevant. Still in any game. No question about it.
Where did they finish last year?
You know what? Let's just move on because I
got Saratoga 3.
You got Saratoga?
I got Saratoga 3.
Okay. What are you saying?
I'm saying 3. They lost 5 guys, Coach. You know what I mean?
That's what I understand. That's what's mind-boggling to me. You got a senior-laden team in Bethlehem returning guys, and you going to Saratoga who's don't even have a starter on their roster from last year. And wow.
Can you really? I mean, when Ortelli comes back for Bethlehem, it changes things, right? So guys' roles are going to change, right?
What do you mean? Like this year?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. Ortelli can shoot from like the logo, half-court logo.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's taking shots like that. I don't know. Is that something you want? Is that how you going to win games this year?
I just want you to move on because I don't understand how you can have
Saratoga got Matt Usher. He gets the job done. Okay, 19-0 streak there last year, getting it done, going to hostile environments, taking teams out, just blowing people away, some of them, and just doing the right thing. They got some guys coming back. They got Nate Trudy, all right, little big Nate. He's 6'7". He can bang with the best of them. All right, he does his thing. You got Will Fox, who's just a bruiser, who got all heart, leaves all his emotion on the court. You know what I mean? I just can't deny that. And then you got guys like, you had guys in the wing who was starving to get playing time last year. I mean, starving. But that team was so magnificent last year, you couldn't really crack it. And those guys are battling in practice every week against those starters. Those guys who battled those starters last year, who were reserves, got all that experience in practice every day. These guys are ready to take that lead. They're ready for their turn right now. You know what I mean? You got Aiden Holmes, who played a lot last year as a reserve. He's going to bring that leadership as well with Nate Trudy. And like I said, Marcus Davis, he's going to show the Section 2 what he's all about. You know what I mean? And you got shooting, you got Charlie Beck. You got, you want to stop? I'm going to go on.
All right, go ahead. I just want to slow down a little bit, just a little bit here. I'll just pump your brakes. Okay. You're talking all this. They played against the starters and all of this, and they're ready. But, 19-0. I mean, are you saying they're going to supersede? They're going to top that? Or they're going
they're battling them in practice. Okay. They battled a team, a starting 5 every day in practice that was going on 19-0 running. Who do you think prepared them for that?
And so now you're boasting a whole new starting 5.
Right.
That they have to get familiarity, they have to get chemistry.
That's why I got them at 3. That's why I got them at 1 or 2.
But you got them against a heavy senior-laden team in Bethlehem that's been prepared, been battle-tested, coming back. These guys got to find themselves in Saratoga. They got to get familiar with themselves on the court, know who like the ball here, where they like it, what happened when adversity hit, who's going to be stepping up, who's going to be the go-to guy. They got to figure it out. Bethlehem does not have those issues to figure out off the rip. That's all I'm saying.
You're going back to Bethlehem. I don't know why. I don't know why you're going to be. We're in Saratoga right now. Okay. All right. Bethlehem is, their quality team is not my top 5. That's all. They could be there later on. But not right now.
All right, let us move on.
Let us move on.
As in the words of KRS-One. Let us move on.
Okay.
We don't have too much difference in Green Tech. We both got them at number 5.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you, I was struggling with actually moving them up a little higher because, like, when we covered them in preseason, and I mean, it's only preseason, and we got a chance to peek in into practice and things of that nature. And then, however, like, to me, mano y mano, this is the athletically, talent-wise, skill-wise, it's probably the best team in the suburban council. Well, they're not in the suburban council. I'm sorry, but independent. But far as sectional play time, these teams they be going up against, and mano a mano, I probably would say this is the best team. So, but I struggle because they have a new coach at the helm right now. So he has to get his feet wet. He has to get familiar. He's going to be going up against some tycoons and A.G. Iron and Domel and Tony DeZekis and things of that nature. Matt Usher. And so for them purposes, I said, let me just kind of, right now, for preseason purposes, kind of stick them at number 5, and then we'll go from there and see how well they perform.
I second those sentiments, but I think that right now that they just have to show a little bit. They have to build a little bit of a rapport. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think Keymore Johnson, like I said earlier, coach, will be that linchpin that would definitely give them an added edge. I do as an athletic specimen.
And you saw him at the Great Coupant Camp this year, right?
Yes, I did.
And you was like, this confidence and everything was like,
it was just unbelievable to see. You know what I mean? Like the way he just dominated was just special. And you got Tommy Haber over there as well, coach. And I liked him at Albany High. You know what I mean? And him coming over with that team to help them out. I mean, it's going to be absolutely nutty over there.
You know absolutely, coach.
You got J-Rod. We didn't talk about him yet.
We didn't even get to J-Rod yet.
And they got a nice long player over there as well, who's like the board lefty, I believe he is. Or if he's not left-handed, he uses the left hand real well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's a big guy.
And they got big boys in there that can clock up inside.
That's right. So that team could easily be moved up.
Yeah, because what I like when we talked to Coach Jones over there, when we talked to him, one of the things he said was he wanted J-Rod to be more of a leader and take more of ownership of playing in the team concept. And one of my qualms with him last year was he never saw a shot he didn't like.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I thought that making players that are better around him would be the goal for him, and that would make the Green Tech team better overall. So if Coach Jones can get him to play to that level and do that, especially with the talent that we're yeah, it'll be an interesting thing to see how well they fare. So Green Tech is a team that look in there. So
So I mean, we don't really differ really on. I mean,
a lot. All right, I just want to say a lot. We differ on a lot. I don't want to.
Your player looking outside is who?
Looking outside is Troy and Colony. Outside looking in is Troy and Colony.
You got Troy looking and outside. They did prove enough to you last year?
Troy did well last year. They did. I like what Troy did last year. Troy, when you start to look at who's going to be the addition into Latif, to Fajion, and to Merritt. Another New Mojo 2 TV All-Star. When you start to look beyond that and start to look in their bench, you start to look at their size, you start to look at some of the things that they have, some of the challenges that they have. It's like kind of like we're talking about Green Tech to a degree, but I have to see what Troy can exude. What do they have? How do they play? How well are they going to play together? Things they're going to do. They do have the experience come back because all 3 of those guys were on that team last year. All 3 of those guys were on the team last year. So I will definitely.
Size definitely is a factor for that team, no question about it. But I really like Greg Davis, coach. I think he can get those guys motivated to really be successful. And if they can just quell those little issues that they had last year with the social media issue. If they can quell those and really be, they worked on
internal strife.
They worked on that too with the communication. They said in the preseason. So if they can handle that and have no outside distractions, nothing like that coming in, they could be very viable. You know what I mean? And size is going to hurt them in some games, but I think they're going to pull out some surprising games this year.
I agree with you.
Know what I mean? Will they go undefeated? Probably not. You know what I mean? So, but
absolutely not.
Absolutely not?
Absolutely not. Undefeated?
Yeah. But
if they're going to go undefeated, it would be in my top 5, but that's another story.
Right. But my thing is that, they're going to battle, they're going to be in every game, and they're going to work hard.
I agree. And my other team, Colony. So Colony, they like we've always talked about, aforementioned, they lost a lot with Isaiah Moe. And identity. Right. Identity would be what I would say with Colony. What is going to be your identity for this year?
Where do you want to go on next, Coach?
Coach, I mean,
we got a few more minutes to really rock out here. If you can talk about anything you want. Players to watch, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm really good, Coach. Okay. I mean, I'm really good. I mean, we have some interesting games coming up. You got Green Tech. You're going to be going versus was it?
No, they're going to be going against Nottingham.
On Monday. You got Shenandoah
against Poughkeepsie.
Right.
Yep. Down at Poughkeepsie. So that's I believe Poughkeepsie. I should look this up. I believe Poughkeepsie is a Section 9 school.
I think they're Section 3.
No, Section 3 is Syracuse area. Poughkeepsie's downstate.
Okay. So Section 1, I think it is. I'm sorry.
Could be.
Section 1. Yeah, Section 1.
So you got a sectional challenge that's going on. No,
right,
Section
absolutely.
1 or 9, I think it is. But Section 1, Coach thinks
I just said Section 1.
So right now, Coach, we had a Section 2 versus Section 3 challenge last night that we've covered game last night. And Saratoga Blue Streets came out on top.
They did
against a very good, strong-looking, athletic, big Henninger team, Coach.
Absolutely.
You know, and Saratoga height too. They got 6'7", 6'6" guys, 6'5" guys running around, and they battle against those horses, Coach.
I'm gonna throw a twist in here to you about that particular game, because we watched that game yesterday, and it was a lot to be desired about some of the moves that the coaches made and some of the ways that they game planned for Saratoga and their in-game adjustments. Now, it's not to take anything away from Saratoga at all. That's a heck of a win, no question about it. On the road, kind of, so to speak. However, like, how much stock do you put into a victory when you see that a team could have done a lot of things differently that could have made the game even more competitive, even so much so Black Knights could have potentially came out on top. Right. There was some things that went on. So as a Saratoga coach, how do you ground your kids, and do you understand that with that team they probably could have did something differently? Right. So how much do we want to hang our hat on the victory? Nonetheless, not to take anything away from beating a good, solid Henninger team. What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is that you got to be prepared to play the game, and Saratoga was prepared to win the game. You know, I think any coach right now in this part of the season. You had a couple scrimmages already. You had about at least 15 practices. You know what I mean? Maybe 3 scrimmages by now. You don't have an offensive press break or offensive, defensive press, more than one defensive press. Right now, I mean, it looked like Henninger came in there, like to your point, like Henninger came in there and the coach drew up a press. You know what I mean? At the moment, the kids looked befuddled when they went in.
Well, they must have probably been a little bit overconfident, because one of the things that the Saratoga kids said to us, and the coach Usher said to us as the kids were running off the floor for halftime, the fans up there was going, oh, that's pretty good that Saratoga's only down by 6. They were able to hang in there that long. So I don't know if they was a little bit overconfident coming in or whatever, because then Saratoga proceeded, and Coach Usher and Trudy said that motivated. They came out with a 17-0 run at halftime, and then some of the times during the press, it was just like one pass and they were at the basket. So I mean, when I think about things like that, from a coaching perspective, and you're trying to get back in the game, you can't have that. And that was like multiple possession after possession. It was one pass, and it was just like a layup. So that was kind of like
it was just demoralizing for the Black Knights, Coach.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Blue Streaks did what they had to do. You had Marcus Davis, Coach, attacking the rim against 6'10" on breaks.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's just what it is.
I mean, nonetheless, like I said again, I'll mention it again. It's worth mentioning. I don't want to take anything away from Saratoga. I mean, they came and played. They played and they executed an excellent game plan. And like I said, one of the things that I like about Coach Usher is adjustments. When you come out of a halftime and you go on a 17-0 run, you make some adjustments.
That's right.
Simple as that.
That's right. That's
you know what I mean, Coach?
That's right. And I just think too. Just to close this out, I think too that it speaks volumes for Section 2 and their coaches in Section 2. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We got guys that prepare their players. We look the Blue Streaks looked very prepared last night. Even if they would have lost, you would have probably felt that the Henninger might have had more athletic bodies that could do more.
They had a 6'10" kid.
Yeah, and a couple of the other guys were like 6'8".
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's what it was. So shout out to Section 2 and keep doing your thing. We're gonna sign this out now, Coach. Emoji 2 TV. Peace.